we're getting some dropped. Anyway, well, our live feed is a little messed up right now. We're getting some drop frames. Our live feed is it's usually on Twitch's side because usually I have 0 drop frames.
Right.
And now I've got just as many dropped as I have up. So here we are.
Yeah, well, showing that we're up again.
Yeah, so we're up again. So yeah, I mean, class was good. I never really got invested in all the characters. There was a couple I liked. Class was good. I felt I never really got they were kind of going a little more almost Game of Thrones where they kill people. I never really got they were kind of going a little more almost Game of Thrones where they kill people. Interesting.
Yes, we
Okay. They were kind of going a little more almost Game of Thrones. Oh, interesting.
Yes, we
We're still getting crazy drop frames. I don't know what's going on.
I think it's got to be our internet.
It's got to be the internet, yeah. Let me shut some of this stuff down.
I think it's got to be our internet.
It's got to be the internet, yeah. Shut down all these windows.
I think it's got to be our internet.
It's got to be the internet, yeah. Shut down all these windows.
I think it's got to be our internet.
Oops, I'm going to shut down the window where you're going to call me from. Hold on a second. Oops, I'm going to shut down the window where you're going to call me from. Hold on a second. Oops, I'm going to shut down the window where you're going to call me from. Hold on a second. Shut down the window where you're going to call me. That's not terrifying at all. It wasn't a video call. It's not terrifying at all. It wasn't a video call. Yeah, it's not going to hold. No, this is going to hold. It just sucks. It's not going to hold. It's just fine. We'll just have to do the rest.
Just got to hold it for a few more seconds.
Porkins?
Thank you. Hold it for a few more seconds.
I always say whenever I'm teaching that part, where we're
Thank
like,
you for a few more seconds.
I'm like, yes. I always say whenever I'm teaching that part, where we're
Thank
like,
you for a few more seconds.
I'm like, yes. I always say whenever I'm teaching that part, where we're
Thank you for a few more seconds.
I'm like, yes. I always say whenever I'm teaching that part, where we're
Thank you.
I'm not sure why I have to get a new screen cap, but yeah, it's dropping 720 frames, so it's just I don't think Kate's doing anything. It's dropping 720 frames. She was laying down her back, or it's just I don't think Kate's doing anything. It's dropping 720 frames. She was laying down her back, or it's just let's see if we can finish this out. We're having some technical issues here, kids. In case you're wondering why we're not talking about some technical stuff issues here. Instead, we are messing with our frames.
Well, we only have, I don't know, 8 more stories, something like that.
Yeah, we don't have too many.
All right, so
What were we talking about last?
well, we were just finishing up class. So
Class.
the other thing is, one of my favorite movies of all time, LA Confidential, is getting brought by CBS
The other thing
into the
is,
TV.
one of my favorite movies of all
which is
time,
really
LA
interesting because actually right after getting brought by CBS
The other thing is,
After all this time, that's really
well,
interesting.
right after it came out, they actually shot a pilot, and it had Kiefer Sutherland playing the Bud White role. Right after it came out, they actually shot a pilot, is the Russell Crowe role. Kiefer Sutherland, and it's a good thing the pilot didn't get picked up because since he didn't, that didn't pick up, he was able to do the pilot for a little show called 24. Because since so if
24.
So if LA
That was a minor thing.
Yeah, so if LA Confidential had been picked up back in 1998,
24.
he wouldn't have been,
That was only
he wouldn't have been able to do so 24. So anyway, so they're going to be doing it. I hope that they're going to base it a little bit more on the book series because there's actually 4 books in the series.
Okay, cool.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
And then let's get into. You've got a little bit of DCEU news.
Yeah, the only DC news we have really is Wonder Woman news, and Patty Jenkins has been officially signed for Wonder Woman sequel. Yeah, the only DC news
this was announced
really
a few
is
weeks ago,
Wonder
but
Woman
she's
news, and Patty Jenkins has been officially signed for Wonder Woman sequel.
Officially signed now, and I'm sure it's for a boatload of money.
Yeah, and I didn't look into the money part of it, but They said that they were talking to her. They just haven't officially signed it, right? And now that they've come up with it, they said that they were talking to her. Aladdin, Disney news.
Yeah, so as we talked about earlier, that episode 9 was moving from May to December.
Aladdin, Disney news.
Of course, something had to move from December. So Aladdin, which was set for December 20th, is now moving up to May 24th.
Interesting, and actually, Will Smith put a couple of pictures up on like Instagram or something of him with the cast and stuff.
Yeah, and actually, Will Smith put a couple of pictures.
He's playing the genie on Instagram. That makes sense. With the cast. Does it? I'm having a hard time with the Aladdin one, but we'll see how it comes.
Well, it's been a while since he's done a comedy.
It's been a long time since Aladdin. I'm having a hard time with the Aladdin one, but we'll see how it comes. I'm not want to be that guy, but it's been a long time since Aladdin. I've become him. So I threw this in here because, and I asked you earlier if you want to talk about this. Become him. There's this. So I don't know how we want to say it, but and I asked you earlier if you want to talk about. Yeah.
We all know that Disney is pulling out of Netflix from what we hear over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
But how is that going to affect the Marvel Netflix series?
Right. And I think that's.
But how is that going to affect
well, how it's going to affect it, we're not sure. But and I think that's. What if, and this is a little bit of conjecture, I think, on this other article that I have in here, major, is if should Disney just buy Netflix?
I think it would be great for Disney.
Is if sure,
I think Disney just buy Netflix.
Well, and I think that Disney has a couple. Disney, sure. The person who wrote the article actually has a couple pretty good points. That Disney never really caught up.
No, they were way behind.
With internet and streaming and all this other stuff, and now they're trying to play catch up. Would it be easier for them just to be like, well, F it, let's just buy Netflix, and then we can put all our stuff on there, and then all of this goes through us.
Yeah, well, they don't have to. It would be,
and then we can put all our stuff on there,
and
then sure, because then they don't have to build their own streaming.
They don't have to, exactly. This actually reminds me. Disney's
Because
always.
then they don't have to build their own streaming.
It really cracks me up. Because I remember I was working in movie stores when HD DVD first came out.
Right.
And so we now call it Blu-ray because it's the only HD DVD on the market.
Right.
But back when it happened, you had Sony's HD DVD, and then you had Blu-ray.
Right.
Back when it happened, you had
Microsoft actually got on the HD DVD bandwagon because that was what happened.
Sorry, Sony was
Microsoft got on the HD
DVD bandwagon because that was what happened. Right. And they were both head-to-head, and Microsoft was actually the HD DVD was actually a little bit ahead. And all the marketing was Blu-ray was blue packaging and HD DVD was red. But it wasn't until Paramount, but then Disney said we're going Blu-ray.
Right.
But it was Paramount that back then Paramount it was Godfather and we're going Indiana Jones and
the stuff that people were going to want to buy.
A lot of Spielberg stuff, and then Disney was all the Disney stuff.
The stuff that people were going to want to buy.
And now a lot of so that's why Blu-ray is the way it is and HD DVD went the way it did.
Exactly. And I think this is an interesting conversation. I just don't know. I'm hoping that because Marvel, I just don't know what I'm afraid of is all these other things that are in development through Netflix, right? The Marvel shows. Right. What I'm afraid of is all these other things that are in 2019. Is this going to be the last Marvel shows? What I don't want to happen is this going to be the last season for Jessica Jones and Daredevil and all that?
Well, getting away from just the Marvel Netflix stuff, Netflix puts out great content.
They absolutely do. And you recently watched that crazy ass show recently.
Yeah,
right?
Friends from College.
Friends from College.
Yeah, so they put out all this great content, and it just reminds me back when Disney picked up Miramax.
Friends from College.
Yeah, so they put out all this great content. You know, and it just there was great artistic stuff coming out of there, and then it kind of just died.
Right.
You know, I don't want that to happen.
Well, I don't want that to happen either, and so I hope that these Marvel shows stay on Netflix. I mean, they're Netflix shows, right? I'd hate for them to go to some on Netflix streaming service from Disney that may or may not pan out. Of course, it probably will because of what they're going to bring to the table. But are people going to subscribe to it in the ways that they subscribe to Netflix? Because Netflix is so established, and so are people going to subscribe to it? So basically, what people think of when they think of binge watching TV they say, I'm going to go watch Netflix.
Right, we already have Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon.
Binge watching.
Is there really room for another major streaming?
I honestly don't think so. I really, and I like to say that there is, but I don't want to subscribe. I don't want to subscribe to another one. I have all three of those.
And
I like to say that there is. I spend enough on streaming services. I don't want to subscribe. Granted, I don't pay for cable anymore, but now that it's football season, I'm starting to feel that. But at the same time, I'm like, anymore. But now that it's football season, I'm starting to feel that. I love Sunday Ticket, but not even being able to like turn on like what was it Monday night? Turn on Monday Night Football is like, oh, that's right. But not even being able to like turn on like, oh, I guess Monday night. Well, Monday Night Football. So it's one of those things. So I don't know. We'll kind of see how this pans out. We have another 2 years.
Yeah, this is a long-term issue that we'll delve into.
I don't know. We'll kind of see how this pans out. We have another.
We got a couple things from Fox. Suicide Squad 2, which we've been talking about the last 2 weeks, that they're really trying to push this. Gavin O'Connor is going to be directing. And Gavin O'Connor's great. He did.
What's that name?
I am drawing a blank right now. But Gavin O'Connor's great. He did.
What's that name?
Oh, he did The Accountant with Ben Affleck.
Okay.
So he wrote and directed that, which was a fantastic movie.
Oh, he did The Accountant.
So that's great. And then we also got news that X-Force, which is basically Deadpool 3, is going to be written and directed by Drew Goddard, who did the first season of Daredevil.
That's right. That's why the name sounds familiar. Yeah,
so
that's season.
They're getting great people to do that stuff. The first season of Daredevil.
So flipping over to Marvel, Stan Lee has filmed his next 5 cameos for MCU movies. And I think this is super important. And we've talked about this before, but he's super old, and I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to do the cameos, but as long as the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going, and he's alive, we're going to expect to see him in the movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think about it, what's already in production? Thor is done.
Expect to see him in the movie.
Okay, Black Panther's in post-production. Captain Marvel's in pre-production, so they probably just filmed his stuff for that. And the 2 Avenger movies.
Right.
That's the 5 right there is what I'm guessing.
Yeah. We also, in the distant horizon, what do we have? Ant-Man 2.
Oh, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, I forgot that's right.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. We've also got we have Ant-Man 2. Something else going too. The next Spider-Man? No, they haven't started that. No, there's got to be one more, right? Or maybe it's just Ant-Man. Okay. No, there's got to be one more. Doctor Strange, they haven't talked about a sequel. Maybe it's just
Ant-Man. They're going to be doing one.
Yeah. But anyway,
that's going to be in
Phase 4.
Phase 4.
Phase 4. Well, I'm glad that Stan Lee's. But anyway,
that's going to be in Phase 4.
It's always great to see the movies. It's funny because I do Guardians of the Galaxy. We just recently watched it with my students, and when Stan Lee's on the screen and Groot's calling him a grade A prevert or whatever, pervert or whatever, and it's just like on the screen, and I say, oh, that's Stan Lee, and the kids are like prevert or whatever, pervert or whatever, and it's just like. Yeah, I say, that is Stan Lee, one of the greatest humans to ever grace, geek culture. So you're welcome for seeing him on screen. One of the greatest humans.
We actually got a little bit of non-news news this week too, and I didn't put it in the show notes. But Leonardo DiCaprio has come out and said that he wouldn't mind playing Stan Lee in a biopic this week.
I almost put that in, and I was like, I don't know how much this is rumor or him just saying something, but
that's why it's not.
I think he would put that in, and I was like, I don't know how much. I like him as an actor, and I think that once he says he's a person, and we see him as that person, he's really good that way. Like Gatsby, for example, he did really well. I mean, you say what you want about that film.
He was great as Howard Hughes in The 80s.
Yeah, and so there's these things where he's such a good actor. I would buy the fact that he's a young Stan Lee. He's such a good actor. So we've got Sony news. So Venom has been production has been delayed to the fall, but the release date hasn't been changed yet.
Right. Well, they probably just gave it a huge birth of a window.
Delayed to the fall, but the release date. Yeah. So instead of starting, they were supposed to start September 1st, I think. They delayed it to early October. Instead of starting, they were supposed to start September 1st, I think.
And then we got a little bit of Smod news this week.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, Brian O'Halloran, who did the voice or did the character Dante Hicks in the Clerks movies, is confirmed for Jay and Silent Bob reboot return.
Yeah, and this is one of those things where Smith works for a while to try to get people. this is one of those things, and Brian's hard to pin down. There's a couple guys that are integral to his success. Early Clerks guys and stuff like that, where integral to his success. It's gonna take a lot to get them to get to the come of the movie, and I'm glad that he got Brian.
Well, and the great thing about Brian is that he plays different roles.
It's gonna take a lot to get them to get to the come of
the Clerks movie.
I'm glad that he got Brian.
Well, and the great thing played the contestant in Mallrats.
Oh, I loved it.
He played the TV reporter in Dogma.
That's right.
He had a role in Chasing Amy, but I forget who.
Right.
And the funny thing is evidently he might play them all. He had a role in Chasing Amy.
I love it. I hope he does. If you're gonna name something a reboot the poop. I hope he does. And get everybody to come back and play all their roles. And if you play multiple roles, put them all in the same movie.
Yeah, if they don't get Matt and Ben back,
everybody come back and play all their roles. There's no chance.
Play multiple roles.
He hasn't even talked to Ben in years.
I think he'd get Matt. Ben would be a little bit harder.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, and thanks in the chat. Finally, somebody. Too little. Yeah, no. Jeff Anderson, I highly doubt will come back. In the chat.
Yeah, he hasn't been back for a while.
And it's tough because he's Jeff Anderson. And it took everything to get him to come to Clerks too. And think about it, Rosario Dawson, how popular is she now? To get him to come to Ben Affleck is on another level. Jason Lee, Matt Damon, these guys who were in Kevin Smith movies. Chris Rock and Salma Hayek. Yeah, I mean, some of these guys, some are dead. And George Carlin, he's dead. So some of these guys, it's really interesting. Some are dead. I would love to see, and George Carlin, he's dead. So it's really interesting. But Anderson, I hope we can get Anderson to come back for this one. If not just but Anderson, for a second, I hope nothing big, just hang out for a minute. I don't know. If not just So we'll see. I listen to all his podcasts, so I'm hoping he'll mention how this stuff's going down, and we'll see. I know he's really excited about the reboot. I'm excited about it because it's a spoof on reboots, and just to see where he goes.
Well, it reminds me.
I'm excited about it because it's a spoof on reboots.
The Hollywood Studios, right? And we see the little clip of Good Will Hunting 2 hunting season. Lion face.
So good, dude. And it's stuff like that I want to see again.
Apple face, bitch.
So good, dude.
All right, stuff like that I want to see.
Yeah, last thing. We haven't had convention news for a while, but I guess press opened up for San Diego Comic-Con, and we don't have to worry about that for once. We don't have to worry about any of it because we have press for one more year, which is exciting. And we don't have to worry about that for once. So we don't have to worry about that. And then Zachary Levi, who is obviously in charge of Nerd HQ, is working on getting it to be a non-profit organization. And here's the deal. Here's what I did. I put this in the show notes, and I'm only going to talk about this really quickly. But there's a couple of reasons why they pulled out of San Diego Comic-Con. One, of course, was backing, another was scheduling and that kind of thing. And I guess he did an Indiegogo to try to get people to back it, back the organization. It's just not working out. People don't seem to be showing up.
No, it's not like Geek and Sundry and Nerdist. There's a legendary entertainment behind them.
Right. And this is him, and he's trying to do this organization. So he's trying to rebrand it as a nonprofit. That's his goal right now. And this is him. And he's trying to do this organization. So he's trying to rebrand it as a nonprofit. Right. And so he's working on that.
Something Smiles.
Yeah. And so he's working on that. Something for Smiles. I can't remember. Talk for Smiles, something like that. But the idea though is that although he was doing that for charity, it was not a nonprofit. So he's trying to rebrand as a nonprofit. The idea though is that and he's putting it up. Although he so people want to back him, and you want to see, and people are saying, "Hey, bring Nerd HQ to this thing and this thing." He says, "Well, you have to show up and help us." So follow the link. You have to support them if you want to see them. Otherwise, he's probably going to link. So hopefully this happens because Nerd HQ is a really cool thing. So if that's something you want to see in your local area or at a convention or something near you, or at San Diego Comic-Con again, get behind it and support it and get it going. So I just had to throw that in there because that was something we talked about leading up to San Diego that was lacking for sure. All right, man. We've been talking long enough. Should we get out of here?
Get out of here.
All right. So thanks for tuning in to the usual podcast. If you have comments or questions, you can find us at theusualpodcast.com. Email us at theusualpodcast@gmail.com. And we're on Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. I'm at Darth Pops on Twitter, and Will is at Admiral Griggs. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play. Find us on your favorite podcatchers, and like us and share us and all that. Tell your friends. And if you want to support the show, there's a couple ways you can do that. Patreon.com/usualpodcast. And if you want to support the show, there's a couple ways you can do that. Patreon.com/usualpodcast.
Twitch when you restart.
If you want to support the show, there's sorry. We had to restart. We had some technical issues earlier. But anyway, sorry, man. We're closing out. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/usualpodcast. If you... Okay. Well, we'll have to figure that out. Not really. Maybe it just hasn't taken effect yet. But,
possibly. Keep going.
But patreon.com/usualpodcast. The best way to support the show is give us $1 or $2 an episode. And yeah, we do... When we have more trailers, we do trailer time, and that's an exclusive. We also do blooper reels, like what we probably just heard, if you're tuning into the live show. And also some other incentives, as well as socks and all kinds of stuff. And that's the best way to help us. But there's another way, audibletrial.com/usualpodcast. If you want to get a free audiobook, if you like audiobooks, get that on us. We get $15. And yeah.
Pick up the new Phasma book.
Yeah, Phasma's coming out. There's tons of books on there. So, ironically, absolutely not. Anyway, are we done?
We're done. Let's go ahead and take off. I want to make sure everyone out there just has some fun.
Yeah, have fun. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Yeah, no, it's not up there ironically. We had a whole discussion about it, dude. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Sorry for the technical things. We had some internet issues earlier, so I think when we came back online, the echo... Oh, you know what I bet it is?
No, he said it was all good after you muted your Twitch.
Oh, I thought it maybe was the call with you.
No.
No? Okay. I thought he was saying all good, like it's all good, don't worry about it, or it's working now.
I think it's working now.
Okay. Well, either way.
I think you're just a little bitch.
Oh, Steve just showed up. What's up, Steve?
That's funny because I thought he and his wife were going to be watching the show.
Were you there for a while, Steve? There's like 6 people now. What just happened?
Seriously, that was weird.
We end the show and everybody shows up. It's working. It's working. That was my Anakin impression.
I know.
You didn't like it? Well, we're done recording now. And people are talking to me now, so I'm reacting. It's all good. Anyway, Steve, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in there, guys. We'll be on Wednesdays here for the next couple weeks, and then we'll go back to our usual Thursday. Our usual Thursdays. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all later.